Kanzu, you remember all that story. Subsequently, all the other military officers, General Muntu, of course Besigye was retired in a very controversial way. Kazora used to cover them as journalists. He went to Bombo, they are retired, and the military is wishing them well, where you have gone into the politics. We were making progress as a country. Until I think when Mr. Museveni said, now to hell with the constitution, to hell with the law. Now, military people will do politics. If you want, you can go and hang. And he's validating what they are doing. You see, we don't have any other country attorney general.
No.
This thing we are talking about, we are on a journey. And the president demonstrated that by himself, saying, if I'm going to seek for this office, I must be a civilian. Because we don't want military people, we don't want military rule. And I have told you, even in Parliament, I was there as a journalist, they told J.J. Odong, Parliament will not pass you as appearing before the vetting committee. They said, until you have resigned. And he went and resigned. So J.J. Odong is no longer in the army. But the subsequent former CDF, he's not. J.J. Odong resigned.
I didn't know.
Before he took over his appointment as State Minister for Environment.
I didn't know.
The first thing he did. That's a journey we are taking as a country. Along the way, even that has gone. Not only has it gone, I have told you what happened to Mukunde. By appearing on the radio, they say this is spreading harmful propaganda. You're a military man, you stick to military issues. Now you have a military man running civilians. He's supposed to be subordinate to you, now you're subordinate to military. He organizes a rally, you go following. He's in Masaka.
But you see,
we can pretend about this, but that's where we are.
Ssemujju, you see, unfortunately for you, you know, the problem is that when I'm having a conversation with Ssemujju, the moment it has anything to do with President Museveni and the family, like I told you, I just.
But just because I also don't agree. The president's family is a big family. Have you heard me speak about his daughters who are bishops and others?
The president is the one who led by example.
Yes, that time. And
but now you are telling him that he's the one who broke the law.
Yes.
How?
I have told.
He led by example.
At that time.
And even now, he's not a military man.
Yeah, but
so he's in politics.
But his son, who is a military man, has a political party to which you belong.
Which political party? For me, I belong. Yes, I belong to PLU, but my political party is NRM.
As if there is a
and you're not allowed to have two. By the way, it's illegal.
As if they are different.
Please allow me come to Honorable Wandera.
You see, after the NRM, primaries, the CDF congratulated Pirao, also congratulated the NRM. And he said, for us, we are now ready to give you logistics.
Honorable Wandera, you hear, and you've said very profound words.
You want me to share the tweet?
Share it.
It's pretense. Behind the headlines, the conversation continues. My name is Timothy Nyangweso. I'm joined by Dr. Sarah Birete. I'm joined by Honorable Dan Wandera Ogalo, and Honorable Nganda Ssemujju Ibrahim, and the Attorney General himself, Honorable Kiryowa Kiwanuka. We have missed the presence of the Honorable Minister in charge of Justice and Constitutionalism. The Honorable Norbert Mao is missing here, but the conversation still continues here, and let's get it started, because even off air the conversation continued. Honorable Eji, there are concerns, and let me start from an angle where you ended. Why do Ugandans seem powerless when it comes to their governance in terms of this constitution? Because it seems like they only have a mandate every 5 years. They cannot. You talked about accountability.
Yeah.
How can they hold these leaders accountable?
Timothy, that's exactly the point. Actually, in the constitution, under the movement system, there was a power to recall members of parliament by the electorate. This Constituent Assembly, at the time, found it necessary to remove that clause during multi-party politics. The power to recall members of parliament was specifically removed. It exists Under multi-party politics, it doesn't exist. I hold the view that they had a reason why they did that. So the people are not powerless. The people, every 5 years, give you a mandate and say, you go and do this. If you don't deliver on what they want you to do, they remove you after 5 years. That's the Constitution. But also, that is the mandate that the people have given you. But there is a provision in the Constitution about referenda. The referenda can be called by the people anytime. Anytime. So it doesn't have to wait for 5 years. So they're not powerless. And maybe just to say, maybe we need to do a little bit more civic education on the powers of the people and what they have in the Constitution. And by the way, to correct the misrepresentation here, we have actually translated this Constitution into 8 languages. And even when you check on the internet now, it is there. Maybe what we need to do is to do more to get it to the people. And that we can...
Where are the copies?
Pardon?
Where are the copies of translated constitutions?
They're online. We put everything online.
They are digital.
They're digital.
In a country where we have 27%.
You see, the hard copies are available in Law Reform Commission. They're available in the bookshop if you go there. Yes. And they're available online. Now, if you say this is the era we are dealing with. So if we make it available online and make it available in the bookshop, what more can we do? The issue here is, if we think that we're not doing enough on civic education, then I think that is where our friends in the civil society come in.
I think, Honorable AG, you're pointing the finger in the wrong direction. It should be you, because
no,
if we look at it this way, walk on the streets of this country.
I can speak for civil society. I will do.
You're going to walk anywhere today or tomorrow and find a Ugandan and ask them the way you're asking for a provision that an American can be arrested and he knows his rights. Do Ugandans know their rights? Where did we get it wrong?
Timothy, I think we need to be careful, because when you say, if I walk on the street and ask the Ugandan for a provision in the Constitution.
If he's, like Honorable Ssemujju was talking about, someone arrested, what the Constitution states on how you get arrested, what should be done when you're arrested, do they have that understanding? Where did they get powerless to the Constitution?
You see, I can't answer that question, because I really don't know. We need to check on that. It is the people who can tell us whether they know or they don't know. I can't answer that. But as far as I'm concerned, the information is available. The information is available. The duty of the state to train the people, civic education is provided for, and we should continue doing it. Yeah.
And you spoke about it being online. Where can someone find it?
Just search Itesot. Just put on, even now you can put on Runyankore version of Uganda Constitution.
Okay.
It's there.
But I want to ask the principal legal advisor to tell us if he has advised this government against abduction, detaining people in the basement, shaving their beard and beating them, if that doesn't bother him.
Well, it's the same thing, like you say, the right to life. People die. So you say, have I advised the public against killing?
No, this is specific.
Yeah. So what I'm telling you is that I do not know of any abduction.
Yeah.
So if you're saying the abduction, if the government is taking you, that's an arrest.
I'm talking about abduction. It's not arrest.
What is abduction?
JAT, SFC.
You mean you can arrest you? When you arrest someone, is it an abduction?
Okay, you can pretend.
Okay. No, they don't talk about abduction. If the government picks up someone, that is called an arrest.
So there is no procedure followed when you are arresting people. You just bring a drone and bound them and beat them.
No, beating them is not allowed, and we advise all the time that don't beat them. But government does not abduct people. Government arrests.
Government shouldn't, but this particular
government does not.
People,
government does not abduct
them
people.
In the basement, shave off their beard, and then Moz Kainerugaba says I am beating them.
Honorable AG,
Head of your political
why
party.
Why is it that
Kirao.
there is perception that there is selective application of this constitution, but also that the constitution seems to be politically driven rather than legally driven?
The constitution is a social document, a political document, and a legal document. Because the things we've been discussing here about governance are political issues.
Yes.
So they're in the constitution. So the constitution is actually a political document. So if anyone, people should not shy away from thinking it is a political document. It is a political document because it deals with the politics of the country. It is a social document because it deals with education and health. It is a legal document because it addresses issues of legal nature. So we should not be shy about saying the constitution is a political document. It is a political document.
Thank you very much. Honorable Ssemujju, you wanted to respond, Dr. Sarah, before I get to Honorable Ssemujju.
Yeah, two things. One is if we complain about bad quality, why don't we represent ourselves? First of all, it's not that everybody should be a politician. I'm sure everybody should follow their passion. If your passion is in serving people through politics, you serve them. If your passion is in serving through other capacities, you concentrate on that. But also, why is it that good people are shying away from politics? The politics are too dirty. Money and violence. There are so many good people there that would want to be in service of the people through political leadership. But do you have the bags of money, like we saw in Kororo, when Attorney General I saw in Kororo? The bags of money, your own members were even complaining, including your Minister of National Guidance, about the vulgarization of your internal processes. You see the violence, like in Zimbabwe, where a young man was murdered. I don't know whether there is justice for that young man. So the politics are too dirty, and it's only maybe, you know, those either who can manage, or if you have the means also to play dirty, that have dominated the arena. So that's why we have poor quality, and I don't know whether that's something to celebrate, because I don't think it is progress. The question of civil society. The same government that when Attorney General advised to close funding for civil society, including the democratic governance facility. So the closure of funding for civil society closed about 75% of CSO work. I'm sure everybody has noted that there is no visible voter education going on. On top of that, us as a government blocking the work of civil society, now you have other external issues like closure of USAID. There is no voter education in this election. We are not Attorney General. But also to underscore the fact that civil society plays a complementary role. So should they complement nothing? Where is the role of government that is supposed to be complemented? Where is it? So that's the question that we should answer.
Honorable Ssemujju, you speak a lot about what the military has done, what the politics has done. We also remember what the preamble is, the instability and all these things. Has this constitution been weaponized to the benefit of just a few, and why?
Not weaponized, overthrown. This constitution has been overthrown.
Why do you say it has been overthrown?
You've seen the president. He will appear on TV. He will say, you soldiers, don't even bark at people. When you are arresting them, introduce yourself. This is the procedure to follow. And then on the news, so and so has been abducted. You saw what happened in Kawempe in a by-election. If you read the laws on elections, you're not even supposed to have an armed person at a polling station. That's why we have police constables who are picked from society and trained. But in Kawempe, you had armored vehicles at polling stations. The military started that whole by-election by beating people. These days, they have even hired gangs So you're being beaten by the gang, by SFC, by JAT. The Minister for Internal Affairs responsible for law and order said, for us, we don't have JAT. I am told JAT is part of the military now. So they took over that whole exercise. There was time the president wanted to fuse police into the military. I think from the beginning of his administration. And I am told Dr. Paul Kawanga Semoge, the late said, no, we can't let police act different. I spoke, I was helping Brigadier Sebagal, I don't know whether that is his rank now, to do his biography, autobiography. And he told me when they are fighting a rebellion in Rwenzori, that is under Obote 1, they went with police units. The military was not even supposed to arrest anyone, including people in a rebellion. He said the ones we are picking, we are handing over to police in our area. Today you have the military. Sometimes you don't know whether it is military running police stations or both. Every police station now has a military personnel. So our lives have been militarized. People are still being kidnapped and taken to Mbuya in the basements. The other day I asked Honorable Both. The military had picked my neighbor. And I told him, please help me. I am told this person is under military detention. Reason? They were looking for someone, and that someone had called this person. So I asked General Tafiri one time, why do they continue doing those things? Because this person should help you to get the one that you want. So you don't get the one you want, then you pick one who has been telephoned. That's how my sister was picked one time. I had to call all the ministers to help me. Then they said, you go to crime intelligence. So really, even the police itself now, that some of the directors are military people. The same way we have them in the parliament. You have military ministers, you have military MPs, you have military policemen, you have military political leaders. I don't know why Pirao is not given iPod money. So really, everything is military, and he carefully chooses to join a political party run by a military man. This is where he is. That's where he has deployed his professionalism on how to run. For the first time, you have military people running a political party. And how can you stop them? They are the ministers, they are in the police, they are in the parliament, they are everywhere. Why wouldn't they run a political party? The same way they sit in the parliament. So that's where we are. Intelligent people can scatter around issues when you raise. We can pretend, but the worst thing, and I keep telling people in my constituency, where we are now, we're talking about 30 years, 63 years of independence. We all know our way to where Rwanda is. Because in Rwanda there is no pretense. The opposition, people in government will choose who will oppose them and then help you to oppose them, even deploy you. So that's where we are now. So you've seen Honorable Mao is not here. He said now he has drawn a line between an alliance of those who are in power. Some opposition parties are part of the alliance, and then the ones, us who are supposed to be criminalized. Africa has been let down by its people, some of them highly educated, and I can see the debate. Some people think they lead. Of course, my thinking is different. You cannot substitute them. We can only continue pleading with them or looking for those who will do things different. This Attorney General, with his knowledge, belongs to an illegal outfit, a political party run by military people, and he's an active member.
I'm a member of NRM. That's a political party.
You are a member of Pirao. Say that you are not a member of Pirao.
But what is the legal status of Pirao? Because
he's a member.
You mean
no, I want to ask the Attorney General.
PLU, for me, as far as I'm concerned, is not a political party.
Yes, I'm coming.
Yeah. It's a civic organization.
Yes.
It's a CSO.
CSO.
If it works like
let
a quack.
I have my question to the Attorney
like
General. So, an Attorney General, if you say PLU is an NGO,
it's not an
which
NGO.
I think it is.
It's not an NGO.
It is.
It's a political party.
So if it's not a political party, I think it's a CSO. civil society organization.
Yeah, it's a civic organization.
Founded by a serving person in the government.
Yes.
Do you know that the laws governing associations, the charter association, NGO, prohibits somebody who is active in government to be in the non-government sector?
No, this is not a non-government organization.
So
it's not an NGO.
What is
this is a civic society. You sit down with a group of people of like minds and say we want to advocate for this. What is wrong with that?
Have you read the laws governing charter organizations?
Oh yes, yes.
It prohibits.
No.
Sarah, let me give an opportunity.
I am very clear about that.
Bwana Attorney General. This is what we talk about when we say
it's the legal
a
fraud.
constitution and constitutionalism. We have Article 208, which forbids a military man in UPDF from being partisan or getting involved in these political things and so on. My example where I'm saying to now really show where there is a constitution and constitutionalism is for us to sit here and claim that this outfit, it is not a political party.
It's not.
The man himself has said, I want to be president.
Yeah, but not now.
Wait. The man has said, I want to be president.
He has addressed rallies.
He has addressed rallies.
Recently,
in your primaries of NRM, his political party came up and said, we have captured 60%.
He congratulated them.
And then he congratulated them.
Yeah.
No, by the way.
I want us to distinguish this because this is the center of the problem we have in Uganda. The constitution, but no constitutionalism. Because there is nothing wrong with General Muhoozi resigning from the army and going into politics and seeking to be president. Nothing wrong with that. But for us to sit here and pretend that, what he's doing is just either civil society organization, that exactly shows us why we do not have constitutionalism in this country.
No, but Honorable Ogalo, for me the thing that I am telling you is that I know it is not a political party. Yeah? That I know.
Yeah, you are saying so because you are saying a political party should be registered, should have this certificate and so on.
Yes.
Now you are being illegal.
But that is
correct. You are correct. You are being illegal. That's what it's supposed to be. But this is saying if it works like a duck, quacks like a duck.
You see,
the thing is a duck.
No, but this one doesn't work like a political party.
We had as a country made progress, and we are making progress. When the President Museveni, RO 001, wanted to run for office, the first thing he did was to resign, was to retire from the military. Even he said, now I want to be a civilian, I want a council. You remember all that story. Subsequently, all the other military officers, General Muntu, of course, basically he was retired in a very controversial way. Kazora, I used to cover them as journalists. He went to Bombo, they are retired, and the military is wishing them well, where you have gone into the politics. We were making progress as a country. Until I think when Mr. Museveni said, now to hell with the constitution, to hell with the law. Now, military people will do politics. If you want, you can go and hang. And he's validating what they are doing. You see, we don't have any other country Attorney General.
No.
This thing we are talking about, we are on a journey. And the president demonstrated that by himself, saying, if I'm going to seek for this office, I must be a civilian. Because we don't want military people, we don't want military rule. And I have told you, even in Parliament, I was there as a journalist, they told J.J. Odong, Parliament will not pass you as appearing before the vetting committee. They said, until you have resigned. And he went and resigned. So J.J. Odong is no longer in the army. But the subsequent former CDF, he's not. J.J. Odongo resigned.
I didn't know.
Before he took over his appointment as State Minister for Environment.
I didn't know
The
he
first
had
thing he
resigned.
did. That's a journey we are taking as a country. Along the way, even that has gone. Not only has it gone, I have told you what happened to Mukunde. By appearing on the radio, they said this is spreading harmful propaganda. You're a military man, you stick to military issues. Now you have a military man running civilians. He's supposed to be subordinate to you, now you're subordinate to military. He organizes a rally, you go following. He's in Masaka.
Yeah, but you see,
I mean, we can pretend about this, but that's where we are.
Ssemujju, you see, unfortunately for you, you know, the problem is that when I'm having a conversation with Ssemujju, the moment it has anything to do with President Museveni and the family, like I told you, I just...
But
just because
I also don't agree. The president's family is a big family. Have you heard me speak about his daughters who are bishops and others?
The president is the one
Yes.
who led by example.
Yes, that time. And
But
we thank
now
him.
you are telling him that he's the one who broke the law.
Yes.
How?
I have told
He led by example.
at that time.
And even now, he's not a military man.
Yeah, but
So he's in politics.
But his son, who is a military man, has a political party to which you belong.
Which political party? For me, I belong to PLU, but my political party is NRM.
As if
Okay.
there is a
And you're not
difference.
allowed to have two. By the way, it's illegal.
As if they are
Please,
different.
please allow me come to Honorable Wandera.
You see, after the NRM,
Yes, sir.
after the NRM primaries, the CDF congratulated Pirao, also congratulated NRM, and he said, "For us, we are now ready to give you logistics."
Honorable Wandera, you hear and you've said very,
Ssemujju.
very profound
You want me
words.
to share the tweet?
It's,
Share it.
It's pretense. One of those things that you have just spoken about.
You can't say.
How do we,
But
and
that's what
Honorable
he's saying.
Ssemujju
No.
said something, we are making progress. The president resigned, especially in areas of our governance as a country, also prescribing to the stability of the country in that area. He also spoke about General J.J. Odongo. How do we move from this stagnation of constitutionalism and start to move forward? With all this mistrust we have, and the trust you had with you as CA delegates, how do we gain that and get back to constitutionalism?
I think we can build, and I'm glad Ssemujju has mentioned this, because sometimes people think he's very negative. But you have heard him say, we were making progress. So it is not as if everything is lost. If we were making progress and we veered off somewhere, we can still go back to where we were, and make progress. But it will take a lot of political will, it will take a lot of courage, it will take a lot of patriotism for us to go back to where we were. And that can be achieved, I think, when we have a national dialogue. When we have a national dialogue to review the last 30 years, see where we have made mistakes, where we have gone wrong. It is not an indictment on government to say, let's review.
Who leads this process? Because I want to also be categorical. There is a lot of mistrust
Yes.
from all aisles of both activists and players.
Yes.
Who leads that national dialogue you're talking about? Who leads this process that Ugandans and all political players can trust them?
I think we can look to Tunisia in 2013, 2014. It was like a situation going very, very bad. But civil society organizations took the lead, They involved the political parties. There was goodwill for those who had been in government, because the government had run into trouble and the president had taken off. There were those who had been in government, they were there, opposition and so on. And they conducted a very good convention, a national dialogue, and something very good came out of it, and they started forging forward. But if that dialogue is determined by people with political interest, would already have begun at a wrong, on a wrong basis. You go there, if you go into this national dialogue with the Kakuns and saying, no, now for us, what advantage do we take as a UPC or NRM in this scenario for us to gain? Then of course it won't work.
What's the fate of the constitution with that national dialogue?
The constitution states, while you are going through this system,
do we get a new one? Do we amend it? Do we review it? What exactly happens to it?
Now, thank you. The national dialogue will help us determine the way forward on how we deal with the issues. Because you see, this national dialogue will not be will even not be very much interested so much in the constitution as is. But it will be, first of all, looking at the current problems, then try to resolve them in the context of where we went wrong. And where we went wrong, you'd have to look at the Constitution. The Constitution itself really has guided us. If you look in the preamble, it gives us the principles and values which will help us build a better Uganda.
Okay.
Those are unity, democracy, social progress, equality. There are 7 of them. Those principles are what would guide this national dialogue in coming on how we move forward with all this thing.
Thank you. Dr. Sarah, he mentioned something like where we went wrong. Where did we go wrong, and how do we find our way back?
I had mentioned in my preamble on where we went wrong, but specifically the other elephant in the room is the fusion of the party with the state, the NRM party, or what we would call state capture in other words. When you look at the functioning of NRM party, it uses branches of government, even in their mobilization. The other day, I think yesterday, agents of political candidates were discussing how they are being blocked by RDCs, and the RDCs are just blocking opposition. You will not campaign in this district. Some of them were even captured on media. I will not allow opposition in my district. RDCs.
Deputy RDC of Mitiana.
Yes. So, and I don't know whether the Attorney General gets to advise other people, because sometimes he's also busy doing party work. The other day he was receiving people who crossed from NU. He's also part of that fusion. Because when you look at the functions of Attorney General in Articles 119, especially 1194, they are key for functions. He's supposed not to be fused so much in part activities. He's from Rango, he's receiving NUP, he's receiving what? Then you have RDCs crossing districts and saying, I will not allow opposition in my district. He doesn't have time to advise them, and so many other things. When Attorney General, I think you need to detach yourself sometimes.
So how do we find our way back, Dr. Sarah?
Yeah, so part of it is we must undo this state capture, the fusion of NRM and the state and state institutions. And that's how you have the CDF also saying, now Pirao, you will support NRM. This time you will support the. These are public things. X is a public platform of record. So when you have a verified account of the CDF, and he's saying all of these things that contradict and abrogate the Constitution, and there is nobody to advise you.
Who can midwife this process?
The Constitution.
You're talking about the fusion of the state and the party.
Yes.
Who can midwife this to ensure that the Constitution survives, or that the child that is called the Constitution survives its midway?
Okay, so let me conclude the worry. I know that the campaign is still peaceful. It's just week 1. We are going into week 2. Let me assure you that the last week of campaigns will be chaotic. You will have the army acting as the military wing of NRM. I don't know whether along the way, on losing the journey, the UPDF restored the settings of NRA. So we have NRA, NRM, we've lost the National Army. The character of the National Army is clearly defined in Article 208 of the Constitution. The functions of the Army are defined in Article 209. And Article 209, subsection 2 is very clear that the Army can only interact with citizens in situations of disaster and emergencies. But you have the Army taking over the day-to-day duties of police. And because they don't know how to do it, that's how they abduct people and even post about it on X. I have abducted Edumutwe, I have abducted, and the Attorney General does not advise them. So
No. He says it's not abduction, it is arrest.
But arrest is defined in Article 23. So which arrest are they doing? And does the Army have rockers to do arrests in Uganda?
Yes, it does.
How?
What do you mean? If you
What provision?
You have the power to arrest.
What? Okay, you say
You
provision.
have the power to arrest the police.
Uh-huh.
You have the power to arrest.
How do you do
But
it?
the army doesn't have the power to arrest.
How is it done?
You do it, you identify yourself and arrest the person.
Do the people in drones identify themselves?
I don't know, you ask them.
Where
Do
do
those
you
who
live?
take people in basement and
No,
shame
okay.
them
Let
identify
us
themselves?
not thing it.
So you will respond. Let me finish my submission.
But you see, don't involve us in half-truths.
No. We are not Attorney General. Let me submit. Note down what you want to respond to, then you will respond. That's how we do it here. So when you have such things happening,
But in Pirao,
we
they
have
do it
had a
different.
continuous situation of enforced disappearances in this country. If you go under Article 8 of the Rome Statute, continuous disappearances of supporters of opposition, now 5 years down the road, they qualify as crimes against humanity. And then we are saying we have constitutionalism. Since 2020, supporters of opposition have been missing, abducted. You cannot call that arrest. A drone has picked it. The other day it was, I think, Edumutwe's brother, then Bobby Giant. The way these people are manhandled and taken, as if the Constitution doesn't exist. So what we need, the Interreligious Council of Uganda has been proposing dialogue. I think it's a neutral platform because we are a highly religious country. You find that 90% of Ugandans subscribe to these religious groups. They have been proposing dialogue. I think they are the best placed entity to preside over such a dialogue.
Before I come to the AG, Honorable Ssemujju, you said we were making progress. How do we leapfrog to get back to constitutionalism?
You see, we can learn from other countries. The whole idea of establishing iPod here was because we wanted to learn from the Ghanaian experience. Because J. Rawlings was as rough as any other African military dictator, sometimes loading people in helicopters and throwing them in the ocean. But they had a cutoff, went into meetings, restored term limits. After 8 years, he left, others have followed. Since then, Ghana has been changing leaders. Even in Kenya, with its shortcomings, at least you are sure a certain leader will go after some time. So there's nothing that you are going to reinvent. You only ask one time we were with President Museveni on a talk show, and I pleaded with him, he needs to play a role. If he wants to leave Uganda in one piece, he will need to play a role. Unfortunately, the people who work with him, people who have gone to school, are just cheerleading. They should be the one pleading with him every day to leave this country in one piece. He still can play a role. Why? He's the one who removed the term limit. He's the one who removed the age limit, brought military to take over police. When people are powerful and they see guns all over, they begin thinking that that is power. And that's how, so to be direct as I answer, the most smooth way is by people who are in government to establish and work as she has suggested, Dr. Virete. If they don't do that, there is a wrong route. What the other African countries have gone through in Libya, in Sudan, in Congo, and everywhere. But that will be very destructive.
Possibly.
It will be costly, we will lose life, we will lose. I was in Khartoum. There was a Kenyan senator, fairly old. He told us at the time of independence, only London was better than Khartoum. Now the whole of it is in tatters.
Yeah.
It is still possible. It isn't too late. Let the people Uganda has educated, like Kiwanuka Kiryowa, use the advantage that they have to plead with their masters, even if there is no dialogue, but for them to begin walking back. It is very possible. I have told you, if the things Museveni said in 1996 elections or before, as the Honorable Wandera Ogalo said, by now maybe would be in another third generation of leadership. It is still possible.
Okay.
But if they take the path of continuing with military dictatorship, a father hands over to a son like it happened in Togo, that power can evaporate. It has in other countries, in other jurisdictions. So as we mark the 63 and 30 years of the Constitution, we can restore because the very essence of this particular Constitution, the preamble we started with, was to ensure peaceful and orderly transfer of power. That can still happen.
Okay. Allow me get to the Honorable Attorney General. And please allow me put you on the spot. The history of this country, a majority of the population was not there. They came after, they have had stories. The Constitution is the vanguard to protect this country against going back to its past or getting worse. How do you want to be remembered in the making or in the sustaining of this Constitution?
No, you see, for me, the beauty about it is that my thing is legal. So me, I give advice, legal advice. That's my job. So except if someone wants to challenge me on the interpretation that I have given, that is my job. So if you tell me that, what is this provision saying? That is what I do. Now, when we start talking about what it should be, I am not at liberty to say what it should be, what the provision should be.
You are at liberty, you are in Kalangala.
No, but you see, the thing is that one in Kalangala, by the way, to be clear, by the way, let's be very clear, because you have this idea of Attorney General not being in a party or something. No, that's not correct. The Attorney General is a minister. Is a minister in government.
Honorable Attorney General.
So what I'm saying is that
our history, which really was not good, with change of government, not peaceful, biggest majority doesn't know it. It has really the vanguard of the country.
Even the 40 years of stability, with all the issues that we have had, with all the issues Ssemujju is talking about, is something to celebrate. The fact that this Constitution has been able to hold us together for these 40 years. Now,
can it hold us the next 40? Now,
that's the question we need to ask ourselves. What is it that we need to do to carry us the next 40? Because it has carried us for 30 years. And we are here. We're a country that is growing, yes, albeit with challenges, but we are growing. So the question is, can it carry us for the next 30 years? What do we need to do to help it carry us to the next 30 years? So for me, I don't think that this doom every day we are dying. Uganda is about to. No. If something has not gone wrong, we ask ourselves, what is it that we have not done right, and how do we correct it? But has the Constitution addressed it? If the Constitution has addressed it, why isn't it working? That's what we need to be addressing.
Okay.
And that's the conversation we should be having. But as we do that, we also need to start with having honest conversation. Because you will not have a conversation with someone who say, you doing this. No, it can't work that way. You have to have an honest conversation. If it is criticism, it needs to be honest, genuine criticism, and say, no, this is what is going wrong because of ABCD. So for me, that is what I see where we lose track. Every time there's a conversation about anything, it is wrong, right. I am the one who is right, I'm the one who is wrong. And it can't work, you see, because you say all these people are doing the wrong thing. Oh, there was money in Nambole. We see money in all these other political parties. We see it. So we are not being honest with each other. We're not being honest with each other, and that's where the problem is.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me read just 2 messages. Good evening. Thank you, Timothy, for the show. About arrests in Uganda, the Attorney General and the government arrests and abduction, but are not abductions. Who in government